Good morning, everybody. Saturday morning. I've been a bit quiet on here. In the last video, I spoke about going and doing a track day at Mac Namath, which is where I'm off to today. I spoke about a couple of days over in Phillip Island. They went really well, but all the video and stuff that I did for it all become corrupt and I lost it and stuff. So like I said, I'm new at this, not real good, so I lost all my info. Anyway, the RC390 is currently at the race centre in Melbourne, getting a few bits and pieces fitted to it, getting the suspension all set up and tuned with some upgraded componentry to fit my body weight a bit better. So hopefully that helps a little bit with confidence and handling in the little bike. So in the trailer today, I've got the 890 Duke. I'm hooked up to the Chev. It doesn't look too bad up there, but it's pretty wet here, but there's no rain forecast for the day, so we should be right. So I'm about to take off. I've got to pick up Marcus again this morning. We'll roll across. It's just over 2 hours drive. Set ourselves up for another Southwest Track Days event at Mac Namath Park in Mount Gambier. So let's hope this is a cracker. Talk to you soon. Rightio, made it across to Mount Gambier. So we're at Mac Namath Park, which is on the west side of Mount Gambier in South Australia. Marcus is set up with the RC. I've got the 890 here. Should be a good day. Weather is looking absolutely perfect. So got another couple of mid-sized bikes over here. There's, I think, 4 juniors here today. So they'll get a real good crack at it themselves with not many out there. Last time there was maybe a dozen or so juniors. So there must be something else on this weekend why they're not here. Then we've got a seniors class, which is up to 500cc, so the RC390 and R3s and stuff like that. And then the big bikes. So we'll go do a bit of a track walk and keep everyone up to date with what's going on, and then we'll get out there.
Necessarily that you should brake here, because obviously everyone on their own bike is going to have a different braking point, a different point where they get on the throttle. But if you can start to think of reference points at the start of the day, maybe you brake just before a seam on the track or something like that, that's a really good gauge to then be able to try and better yourself and brake past that point on the next lap or get closer to that on the next lap. Things like that, rather than me trying to tell you exactly where you should or shouldn't be. If you can use those reference points, so then we can work through from that point during the day. So yeah, that's
So as you're talking about track markers and things like that, you'll come through and you see you've got a seam through the asphalt here and a line that direction. So it gives you a bit of a line to work through. So if you can get your track markers, when you come down the straight, you know you can tip in. If you can be on the outside of that cross there, it sets you up perfectly for the second part of the corner. So as you come out of turn 1 here, you can see there's a seam here, just in front of us, and there's a seam over there. So the little bikes will push a little bit wide through there to try to build momentum, but with the big bikes, you've really got to fight it and hold the bike across to this left-hand side of the track as you're coming this direct towards us. And that enables you to get yourself in the right position through this turn 2 kink, heading up towards turn 3, which is got a great amount of camber on it stuff. So you've really got to start thinking about where you're going to put yourself before you get to the corner, so that after the corner, you're in the right spot for the next bit. So you see, coming back from the kink up there where we were, we're going to push up through the camber on turn 3. Now this is coming out of turn 3. So the idea is to push yourself really wide through the preparation for that kink, so you can straight line this back across. There's a couple of vibration marks right underneath where I'm standing now, which unstable the bike. But if you can get yourself accelerating all the way through it, you can push yourself across to all the way to the left-hand side to keep the speed momentum and the bike under control, and that will enable you to get ready for this next corner here. This is a really tight corner, so you've got to be as close as you can here, basically where I'm walking, to give yourself an opportunity to be able to turn in. There's still a little bit of camber. You can see from this, as we're looking at here, you can see across the feet of the people in front of me how much camber there is. So it's really important to keep yourself across so that you can force yourself through this next corner. So as we come out of that tight corner there, we've got a really 90-degree bend, and then we come across here. So this is the last corner before we hit the back straight. Now this is a really awkward double apex So instead of staying wide, you actually got to bring the bike in much more to the middle of the track. So instead of being out the side there and turning in, you actually want to be here, because you're going to try to actually miss the first corner. So we'll come through here, we'll hit the edge of the white line there, and it's going to push us out wide for the second part of the kink. It's a really interesting corner. This is through the second part of this corner here. So we've drifted out really wide. You can see Nick up in front of us here, about to show us where we've got to tip in really, really heavy for the next part. And then look up the track there. Look how it zigzags back through there up the back straight. So then as we come out through that double corner, you'll see that you've got this kink here. So you've got to get across this side here, and then you'll see that you've got a bit of a rise that we go down. So on the smaller capacity bikes, you actually get a bit of a kick along with your speed. Just got to make sure that you get back across right up to the inside to maximise your ability down that back straight. So as we come along through the second part of the back straight, you can see you've got a second kink. So we've had a left kink and now we've got a right kink. So you will be relatively towards the inside half of this track, not all the way to the white line. Then you've got to get yourself all the way back across to the left-hand side before you start to brake. Really square yourself up with that white line so you can bring in this back corner. You carry a lot of pace through this back corner. You've just got to be in the right spot on the track at the time. Rightio. So at the back of the straight, you'll see the asphalt here is really, really coarse. Okay. This track's super, super grippy. Even in the wet, you could ride it in slicks. It's just about got that much grip. But as you come down the back of this straight here, there's a asphalt change where it goes from a coarse mix underneath us here, where it goes into a smoother hot mix. So you do have to take that into account if there is any moisture and things like that, and make sure your tyres are at the right temperature and stuff like that. But get yourself all the way back across here. You can almost see where the wet seam is there. So if you can get yourself to the wet seam, it'll give yourself more than enough space to throw yourself in this corner. But this is actually the widest corner on the track. It's just slightly wider than what the rest of them are. So you can carry an awful lot of pace through here that you wouldn't normally think that you could. You've just got to commit to going around the corner, and it enables you to push wide through that second half and then get all the way set for the next corner over there, which is a pretty sharp corner, which we'll get to in just a sec. So we've gone down the back straight and tipped into the corner. We've got this short little straight at the end of the track, and then this corner here is really tight. It really tips back on itself. So the plan here is to be a lot slower going into it than what you think you should be, to help you get on the accelerator when you come out of it. And the purpose of that is it's going to push us further wide over here, because we need to be all the way over this side of the track here if we've got any chance of making these next two corners work. Okay, so slow in, fast out, we'll see if it works. Now along this side of the track here, there's a little patch of concrete just in front of the group there where there's a real solid dip in the track. So there's two dips out this bit here, but there's a real solid one. So you've got to get yourself through the dip, and you really want to be accelerating at that point to keep the stability in the bike. Then once you've gone through the dip, you can go, righto, bang, now I'm going to turn. So you see here, it makes it difficult when you're walking around, but when you're on the bike and at speed, all these points link in together. So where this concrete patch is here, you can see that there's an asphalt repair being done, and as soon as you walk through it, you can like almost feel it when you walk through it, but on the bike, it really makes it load up that rear suspension. So we get through that, and it enables us to get through that bump and then commit to the next corner. So we need to stay out a little bit wide so that we can go bang and tip into that next bit. So once we've come back through this outside of this corner, we're going to tip in over here and get ourselves a little bit off. We don't get straight on the white line, we come a little bit further across. But across the top of the guys there, you can see there's a guy there in a grey t-shirt. Across the top of him, there's the left-hand seam of the asphalt. That's what we're going to aim for, because this whole corner's blind and it's off camber. So you've really got to be set for what you're going to do and commit to it if you want to make it round. This corner is called Water Tower, because when you get up over the top, you can see there's a water tower in the background. We've come up the hill and we've got ourselves onto this left-hand seam here, which gives us our marker to start turning around. Now the apex of the corner is a fair way round this one, so you've got to be careful. If you come over that hill too fast, you see all these scrape marks on the ground, all head off up over that direction, so we don't want to do that. So you just got to be set on your corner and have yourself locked into it. It's a real gradual corner, so it's kind of almost like one compass arc all the way around. So we're going to get round to about where the bulk of the group is now, so apex. So we're going to be in relatively tight there, and then we drift out a little bit again to about this left-hand seam here. So it gets out a little bit wider, and that enables us to then turn back as tight as we can to try to help with this last corner. Okay, so we've come around the back of the track, we've headed around up over Water Tower. So a lot of this corner here is off camber, so you just have, like I said before, you just have to commit and make sure you got yourself in the right spot. We're going to drift a little bit wide here to this seam again, but we've got to pull ourselves back halfway between the seam and the edge of the track. That gets us in the right spot to commit like crazy to a quick flip, drop the bike down and get through this tight last corner so you can get right on the gas. The front straight has got a bit of a rise in the middle of it. It won't affect anything that I'm riding, I'm not fast enough, but you've just got to get yourself all the way across to this side of the track when you come out of this corner, so that in the second part of the corner up there, you can kink yourself back across to line yourself up for the first corner. So that's our track walk at Mac Namath Park. I'm going to go put on some gear and we'll go cut some laps. So there you go, that was Mac Park. I thought it was a good opportunity with a slightly smaller group to take some time doing the track walk, do a couple of quick videos and show you some of the things that we look for when we go to a new track. Like I've said many times, I'm no expert at this, I'm new to it. I'm trying to take in as much information as I can. I'm not going to be the fastest, I know that, and I'm okay with that. What I want to be is confident, capable, and just better myself bit by bit every time we go. So it's working, we're getting there. I threw in a couple of a short video of the ride on the bike. That was shot with an Insta360, just to show you a little bit about what we get up to over there. I'll make a slightly larger video in the not too distant future and put that up as well so you can see it a bit more. But I had a blast. So if you get a chance to get to a track day and do something like that, go and do it, it's the best. If you've got any questions, type them below. I'll try and answer them speedily if I can. If you like what I'm doing, hit the subscribe button. I'm very new to this, I know, be patient with me, but I will try and get better at it. So in the meantime, it's Lev, thanks for sticking around, bye.